Implementing a national energy efficiency program in Mauritius requires the involvement of many stakeholders. To create awareness amongst companies on issues that affect them, the pilot STEAM project was conducted throughout the year 2013 and the first months of 2014. This project is exemplary in several aspects. Firstly, because it is the outcome of cooperation on two levels, Mauritius Réunion Island and private public sector.
On a commencé par une mission conjointe privée-publique à La Réunion en 2008.
We started in 2008 when we went on a mission to Réunion Island, jointly with the private and the public sector. During this mission, we became aware of the energy efficiency potential. Following our visit, we worked with ADIR, that is, an association for the development of industry in Réunion Island. We have also been able to organize meetings for Mauritian companies in Réunion Island. In 2010, we revisited Réunion Island with about 10 companies. During this visit, we gained understanding and created awareness. Upon the return, a cartography was generated for the mapping for the potential gain of energy efficiency in Mauritius.
Financed by the French Development Agency, the cartography completed in 2010 involves 650 companies of the industry and service sector, companies whose power exceeds 300,000 kilowatts per year. The addition of their spending on energy, both electrical and thermal sources, reached 8 billion rupees per year, which is almost 200,000 million euro. The study falls within the support of the AFD to the global program of the government of Mauritius. This plan is also exemplary as it aims at building Mauritius as a sustainable island, meaning a country that reduces its dependence on fossil fuels, energy costs, and greenhouse gas emissions. The cartography is very instructive concerning these aspects.
Cette cartographie révèle qu'il y a un potentiel très important à Maurice.
This cartography reveals that there is a great potential in Mauritius, as we are talking about 30 million euros of savings on companies' annual energy bills, with a payback period of less than 7 years. Moreover, this is a major challenge for the government, and it will permit to erase 40 to 50 megawatts capacity requirements. This cartography has also helped to highlight the need to support companies in the development of action plans.
Et cet accompagnement passe par la mise à disposition, l'organisation d'une expertise.
And these developments go through the provision of an international independent expertise. This pilot STEAM project allows validating this approach. Currently, the 8 beneficiary companies have developed a successful framework, and some of them have even begun implementing the recommendations. Therefore, based on the mechanisms and on the approach of the STREAM project, we are now working on a program extended nationally, which will reach nearly 100 companies.
Companies from various sectors, from textile to tourism, and eventually to agribusiness. In fact, it is in the latter that the pilot STEAM project focuses. Another reason making this project exemplary is through the methodology, as explained by the project coordinator.
The cartography conducted by the French Development Agency and the Joint Economic Council in Mauritius identifies barriers to energy efficiency in the private sector, particularly the lack of specialists to conduct energy audits, lack of awareness and information to companies. Consequently, for the pilot project, the French Development Agency has commissioned an international expert of energy efficiency to ensure the quality of this project. My mission is to accompany this expert on 4 levels. Firstly, for a call of expression of interest, to select companies within the Association of Mauritian Manufacturers who are interested in the STEAM program. Then we draw up a formal specification to obtain a specialized consulting firm for energy audits. The third level of intervention is to follow the consultants on sites for industrial energy audits and during training. Finally, we perform energy audits around the STEAM program to create awareness amongst the whole Mauritian economy sector and to ensure that other companies embark on this approach towards energy efficiency.
The methodology is in place. What remains now is to persuade the industrials of the effectiveness of STEAM audits.
When the Association of Mauritian Manufacturers contacted me, I was skeptical. wanting to know whether the consultants would come with a paper and a pencil or with the proper measuring tools. I was very pleased to hear that the consultants would bring along a combustion analyzer for the boilers. After 3 days of audit, we were able to collect the data. Following this, Barrault consultants gave us the recommendations in order to make the appropriate adjustments and also to take the appropriate measures.
In fact, the industries involved in the project are already aware about the potential savings in the production, distribution and use of steam. Auditing their installations only allowed to quantify and to value them.
En fait, nous avons très vite signifié notre intérêt car le poste vapeur est un gros.
In fact, we quickly showed interest as steam is a big expense item on our energy bills, and we were very interested to assess the gains to improve our energy efficiency. We were all very pleased with the sophisticated and targeted expertise of Barrault Recherche, which allowed us to clearly identify future areas for improvement and the investment needed to make it through an action plan that we are currently setting up. Investments that have been targeted initially are those which have returns on investment of less than a year or a year and a half. We are even processing to have a steam meter to be able to get exact details about our consumption and eventually measure potential gains generated by investments.
The independent international expertise does not take long to convince. The demonstration is made by the audit firm Barrault Recherche, based in France and in Réunion Island.
On a mis en place de l'instrumentation pour pouvoir valider en fin de compte.
We implemented the equipment to validate the performance of the industrial boilers, also to ensure that the steam use is reliable to each industry regular practice. We noticed that whenever we arrived in a company, they were very interested. They asked a lot of questions to know whether they were on the right track, especially in comparisons to firms in Réunion Island. When we recommended something, they were always eager to know what could be done instantly to improve the situation, without even seeing the audit results. This has led us to be in continuous training. Furthermore, it has also helped us raise a debate concerning service providers and suppliers. It is fundamental that, even if the service providers calls upon international expertise, it must always be in line with the market demand. At the end of the day, the energy efficiency market will improve for the whole of the Mauritian economy.
The challenge is indeed an important one, and the pilot steam project will give it the necessary exposure.
When we speak of Mauritius as a sustainable island, we usually talk about renewable energy. However, energy efficiency is an extremely important element for building Maurice, île durable.